Hello, everyone. Good day. I am Ma'am Jane, and today we're going to be diving into how to create research based instructional materials for language learners. These materials shouldn't be just thrown together, they should be backed by research to make learning more effective and engaging. So let's kickstart the presentation. I hope you pay attention and listen carefully. First off, what exactly are instructional materials? When we say instructional materials, these are resources that support teaching by structuring lessons, reinforcing concepts, and addressing diverse learning styles. They include print materials, multimedia, realia, and digital tools. And when we say research based instructional materials, we are referring to the learning tools designed using proven research methods to help students acquire language skills more effectively. Why do they matter? Well, instead of guessing what works, we use data and research to ensure that the materials actually meet the learner's needs. And by the end of this session, you'll have a better idea of how to create instructional materials that truly help language learners succeed. Principles of research based instructional materials. Let's start with the need of analysis. Before creating materials, we first need to understand our learners. Are they beginners? Do they struggle with pronunciation? Well, we'll find these out through surveys, interviews, and even simple class observations. Next, under theoretical foundations, we have three relevant theories. First is Krashen's input hypothesis. Krashen's input hypothesis tells us that learners need materials that are just a little beyond their current level, like thinking of a book that's slightly challenging but still understandable. We also have Vygotsky's zone of proximal development, or ZPD. Vygotsky's ZPD reminds us that students learn best when they have guidance, whether it's from a teacher, a classmate, or a well designed activity. Besides that is Sweller's cognitive load theory, or CLT. Sweller's CLT says that if we throw too much information at once, students will get overwhelmed. So instead, we break things down step by step. Besides theoretical foundations, here are also some evidence based strategies. TBLT is all about real world tasks. Instead of memorizing words, learners do activities like mock job interviews to practice language in action, whereas CLT focuses on communication, meaning students should be doing more talking than listening to lectures, like role plays, discussions, and interactive dialogues. On the other hand, scaffolding and differentiation ensure that all learners get support at their level, like giving sentence starters to beginners and open ended questions to advanced learners. There are four steps in developing research based instructional materials. First is identifying your learners. A beginner needs different materials than an advanced learner. That's why we start with an assessment. Second is choosing and organizing content in a logical way. For example, teaching greetings before teaching formal emails makes sense. Third is making it interactive. Well, definitely, no one likes boring lessons, right? So add activities like role playing, vocabulary games, or even online quizzes. Now, for the last step, it's all about testing your materials with a small group, getting feedback, and tweaking them until they work. So, what are the advantages of research based instructional materials? Well, the best part, these materials actually help students learn because they're based on what works. They, they are tailored to what students need, so they are more effective than one size fits all resources. And since they're research backed, teachers can rely on them to provide consistent, high quality instruction. Well, if there are pros, there are also cons. So, for the downsides, it takes time to develop these materials. However, teamwork makes the dream work. So, collaborating with fellow teachers can speed things up. Materials also need regular updates to stay relevant. The fix: set up a schedule to review and revise them every year or every semester. And then lastly, the material fits everyone perfectly, right? But we can make them flexible by offering different activity options for different learners. So, to wrap it up, here are the following key takeaways. And for the final thought, research based instructional materials work because they are backed by studies, structured around solid teaching theories, and designed to fit the student's needs. So the process might take effort, but the result is high quality learning experiences that actually help students improve. And at the end of the day, great instructional materials aren't just made, they are researched, they are tested, and they should be refined to make sure they are the best that they can be. And that concludes my presentation. Thank you so much for listening.